Greetings, YouTube! It's your favorite DM Fishsuit here, and we are live with another episode of Rime of the Frostmaiden. If you're missing out on the live shows, we stream this every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. The link is in the description below. Come drop a follow over on Twitch. Look, you can be one of these engaging chat members, like our friend Defying Odds here. A shout out, Defying Odds, on the YouTube video. Can you believe it? Come follow on Twitch. Come watch us do these live. Also, the subscriptions on YouTube, they mean so much. You can follow me on social media as well. Listen, without further ado, we're going to get started here because we have a short show tonight. So please enjoy Rime of the Frostmaiden, episode 15. We now join our episode, not already in progress. All right. I have a very important question for everybody before we really get started here.
Well, I mean, it depends on the circumstance, but yeah, I'd be down.
All right, great. So we're going to get done here about 9. It takes me about probably 45 minutes to get out there, Valor.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Zund, I feel like you might be being summoned to the other room, Zund. It looks like you might be being summoned to for some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I gotta plug a USB.
Yeah, so if it doesn't work on the one way you do it, Zund, try to flip it around the other way and put it in.
Gotcha, I'll try that.
All right, Jackson, how are you tonight, sir? How many inspirations are you sitting on, Jackson?
I think only 2. I
Just
kind of forgot about
the
the
2.
one. I forgot about the one for Drew. So
Okay.
I think I got one in that campaign as well because I got another inspiration the next time I play Drew.
It's a shame that Droop survived because I could have pulled the old if your character dies, you no longer get the inspiration. But I know Droop's not your character, but if Cunning Fox's Droop had died, I don't think we would have been able to transfer those over. I feel like I'm really asking this question mainly for Zund because I feel like Zund is sitting on about 30 inspirations that are unused. Gusto, how many inspirations is Gusto sitting on here for?
Including the one I got today, 3. But one of them is actually just for unconscious and dying. So.
That's right. You can only use the inspiration during our Unconscious and Dying D&D recap podcast. So I'm excited to see how you're going to use that, though. You know, you're honestly, Vlor, you're creative enough. I think that you're going to get you're going to get like a good use out of that. You're going to get a good reroll.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Hey, Sunflower, can you hear us?
Yep.
Awesome. Do you have your camera on, or is it just me that's missing you?
It's showing on roll 20.
Okay, it might be I need to reload.
Missing you.
There you are. Sunflower, how many inspirations is Cleo sitting on right now?
I think I just have 1.
Just the 1. Wow, you must be bad at this game. Zund, Zund, how many inspirations?
Not winning at all.
5.
All right, I quit.
And I have some rolls.
Yeah, you have some.
Isn't that what you mean by inspirations?
What's that?
Don't you mean inspirations by rolls? Because that's what I meant.
No, I give out like inspirations if somebody makes.
You've never given me an inspiration, maybe once.
My God, I'm terrible. What a horrible DM. Never mind what I said about you being a bad player. That's me being a bad DM.
Probably both.
Zund has 5. I feel like that is cheating.
Maybe Zund should give her one of them.
I think so.
Yeah, I can throw mine to other people.
Okay, so Sunflower's getting a pity inspiration.
We'll call it a pinspiration.
I like it. Let's stick with that. Okay.
It's advantage, but with disadvantage.
All right, guys, let's get right into it. Short sesh tonight. Sunflower, first day of work today at the new place. How was it?
Yep. It was a lot. But it was really fun. It was just I literally walked in the door and sprinted up here and immediately just plugged in my headphones.
Look how happy your cat is to see you too. So
I know. I'm trying to give him attention.
He's had to hang out with Zund all day.
But
so
good overall.
I just lost Zune's camera. Did anybody else lose it?
My browser is refreshed.
Okay, no worries. So, all right, we last left you guys here at your. Is this your favorite 10 town? I mean, it's got to be. You guys have spent a lot of time here in Good Mead. You're here in Good Mead. You got into town, and I said, "All right, any other healing? Anything else you guys are doing?" And you guys said no. And then I said, as soon as you enter Good Mead, you hear some kind of a commotion. And I think Floor said at that point, "Oh, that's why you were asking if we did any more healing."
Yeah, and then I said, I think we did heal all our HP just by walking there.
Hang on.
And then you gave us all an extra inspiration.
Oh,
I remember that. I have it down in my notes.
And then everybody got 3 inspirations. And that's why Zune has 10 inspirations. You heard a commotion, and you heard it coming from the mead hall. So you all sprinted down there. My favorite part of the sprinting sequence in my head was Clyde hanging on to Cleo's shoulder or hair as she was sprinting down this little roadway. And as you kind of came around the corner of the mead hall, you saw quite a scene. Sunflower, Cleo, if you can tell me some of the things that you saw in this scene, I'll dole out your very first inspiration.
All of us is just dead on the ground. You got that douchey guy, what's his name?
Shandar Froth.
Shandar, who we already knew is awful. He took over the town, and everybody's just either sprinting away or seems to be injured on the ground with his friends just with weapons. Correct?
That's pretty much exactly what you see, so please give yourself an inspiration, and I apologize. One of the reasons I asked is what I wanted to make sure that everybody was... We were kind of spreading the love here, and you've definitely done some good role-play and stuff to deserve an inspiration, so take it. Yeah, so you came around the corner here and you saw several things. You saw Shandar Froth and his lumberjack buddies. They were waving their hand axes in the air in a triumphant manner. And you saw some people running away. They were pretty far away by the time you got around. And a bunch of people were cheering and hollering. And then you started to survey the battlefield a little bit more. And I think Jordy was the one who saw... you see the people running away. You see Shandar cheering. You see people cheering him. And then you see some other people rushing out to the battlefield to help people who look like they're injured. And one of those people who is covered in blood on the battlefield was the body of Olivessa Untapor. And so I will leave it up to you guys. What would you like to do?
Jordy's the first one to see it?
Yeah, Jordy, you had said that you were sort of leading the charge here, so you're if we want to, we're not in combat ordering or anything, but I'll give you the opportunity to make the first decision today.
Jordy has to kind of like steel himself for a second, because at first glance he's upset, not necessarily mad, but he's like shaken, like literally like almost shaking for a second. Like seeing all the people cheering and the blood and people on the ground. He has to kind of like take a second. It's like, alright, anyone that can heal, try to get to the wounded. If anyone stops you, I'll handle them.
You kind of say that to like Gusto specifically, or
just anyone. I don't know if Jordy necessarily knows like the capabilities of everyone's magic, so just kind of like to everyone that can do anything, or if someone has a healer's kit. I think Floor's the only one with a healer's kit.
I would run to Olivessa right away.
Yeah,
see if
Jordy
she's
would
still
be with
alive or what.
okay.
Do spare the dying if needed.
And Cleo, what do you think that you're doing here?
I picture her walk. Well, I have a question. Do they do all those guys like Shandar and them see us together?
Do a perception check.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me get my D&D.
Cleo's like, does she have anything good?
No.
Yeah, I'll go heal her. What about Kindar? What do you think you're doing here?
Yeah, I think Kindar's just kind of like trying to get a gauge of really what the scene is. Like kind of like probably trying to probably figure out how many people are there. Maybe like see if he can figure out like who killed, maybe was the one to attack. Like everyone was involved.
Okay, well, why don't you give me an insight check while Cleo does a perception check?
Okay.
I realize my perception is wrong on that app thing, so I just have to
Okay.
go to my sheet and see.
Sure. So what's your perception roll?
17.
Sure, 17. So you can tell, Cleo, from here that you really haven't been noticed. So nobody is paying attention to your group. You guys just rounded the corner of the meat hall, and there's just like this commotion happening. So there's nobody that's really like... Shandar is like sort of still reveling and like yelling at the people who are running away.
I think because I picture her trying to like not really be seen by them because she's drinking with this guy before, so she kind of has like a reputation with him and already knew that he was gonna be like a sketchy person. So I feel like I would see her almost like if there's like a wall she's leaning against where she's almost like hiding and looking at the stuff. I don't think she would want to be seen with the people helping because she has a good reputation with this guy. Maybe she can schmooze him in another direction. So
Okay.
I picture her maybe like kind of hiding out and not like jumping out to go like help people, just staying a little hidden.
Okay, cool. Just, yeah, kind of coyly just taking in the situation still.
Yeah, I'm observing everything.
Kindar, what was the insight check there?
It was 14 on that.
14. Okay. And tell me again what you're trying to decipher from the scene.
Just kind of figure out like maybe like if it seemed like was it like a massacre? Was it like all of them trying to kill him? Does it seem like it was just
Gotcha.
like one person? Was it Shandar just kind of killed Olivessa and that was it?
Okay. So, 14. You take in the scene and quickly, like, I see, like, I don't know, like a episode of Monk. I don't know if you guys ever seen Monk, but you're like looking at little things in the field here, and you're making little connections, Kindar. And so you come to a few points of insight with your surveying of the field. One, the way that Shandar is standing, he's almost like sort of protecting Olivessa. Like he's standing between Olivessa and the people who are running away. And so that gives you this idea that Shandar and his lumberjack buddies are chasing off somebody who came and was part of an attack. So that's what you get from this, like the way that the scene is and the reactions of the townspeople to what's happening. You're like, you understand that somebody came here and was attacking, and then Shandar and his buddies chased them off. Okay, Gusto, you get out to Olivessa, and she's in real bad shape. Why don't you go to give me a medicine check?
Okay. See what it is. That's not good. That's a 6.
Yeah, you're not sure if she's honestly alive or dead.
I will hit her with the spare the dying. Trying to just make sure she's okay.
Spare the dying stabilizes.
Yeah, I would say that I'm probably a little frantic, seeing all these bodies and stuff, and probably not that good at checking for pulses and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you're like, this is the person on a stretcher being rushed into the emergency room with like multiple gunshot wounds or something. Like, yeah. So you cast Spare the Dying, Gusto, and there's like several seconds go by where it seems like nothing happens, and then you see finally that Olivessa has a faint breath. Her chest rises and falls, so she is still alive, and your quick action there very likely saved her life.
I'll go to anyone else that might be in the same type of situation and try to help as much as I can.
Yeah, and so you kind of come up from this, like, hands bloodied, I imagine, over Olivessa and you take a quick peek around the field, you see 3 or 4 more people. Let's say 4 more people that are down. So Gusto rushes over, and there's other townspeople that are trying to help, but they don't have the magics that you do. And so, in your rush around the battlefield here, you spare the dying is a cantrip, correct?
Yes.
So you're able to spare the dying on 2 of the other townspeople, but unfortunately 2 others have already died by the time you get to them.
Mm.
So of this, from this battle, 5 people had fallen, and you were able to save 3. Jordy, you steeled yourself enough? What would you like to do?
Jordy is still like shaken because he's standing there, sees a friend, and probably other people he's probably seen, not necessarily know, but know they're friends of Olivessa.
Yeah, you partied with most of these people at the mead hall. Remember when you brought the mead back? So, like, this whole town knows you, and you know them.
Like, he's like almost manic, like breathing just like through his teeth, and just like kind of like both mad and scared at the same time, and he's just trying to like get a hold of himself so he doesn't do like something.
He's
dumb.
trying not to rage, basically.
Kinda, and also not to freak out at the same time. Like
Yeah.
it could, like looking at him, he looks like it could go either way, to a panic attack or fit of rage.
Suddenly, you're resistant to piercing damage.
And he's crying.
Okay. Anything else, you guys? I mean, like, how do you want to approach this?
So I feel like Kinder's probably still kind of observing everything, to really try to still figure out like what's going on. Does he like when as Vor got closer and whatnot, does he notice like Shandar, like how does Shandar's body language change? Does he become like defensive, or is he like welcoming?
Yeah, so are you approaching with, because right now the only person who's really run out there is Gusto. So Gusto ran out there. This is probably less than a minute, really, since you've rounded the corner where Gusto ran out and is just spamming spare the dyings.
Yeah, I don't think Kinder would have. Oh, go ahead.
I was trying to say I wanted to go with Gusto when he first ran up there.
Okay,
but he's probably
okay.
behind because he has stubby legs.
So are you there then with Olivessa?
Yeah,
Did you
like,
stay with her?
I meant like when he was freaking out is like when he actually got up close and saw what was going on. Like Gusto probably already like helped the people.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
like, because he's a little bit slower.
Yeah. So now Jordy, you have like the gravity of what's happened here is come more into focus.
Sorry, that's why he was acting like that.
Okay.
Should
No,
make
that makes
clear.
sense. So you're trying to see kind of what Shandar's general demeanor is like as
Yes.
Okay.
Overall.
So yeah, at this point he's noticed you. But he's just kind of congregated with a bunch of his lumberjack buddies, and they're like, hurrahing kind of still, like they are they appear like they're hopped up on adrenaline, like they're all still like pretty pumped up. They got their weapons out, like very machismo, testosterone fueled cheering with the bros.
Okay, so not really aggressive towards us though.
No, not aggressive in any way towards you.
Yeah, I think Kinder would probably approach Jordy and be like, Jordy, let's take a deep breath here. Let's just figure out what happened here. Olivessa seems to be okay for now. We'll talk to her when she's able to talk, and the threat seems to have gone away for now.
Jordy takes that in and just takes a few deep breaths, slaps himself in the face a few times. Is like he's not like borderline hyperventilating, but he's good.
Olivessa just still lying face down in the snow. No, just kidding. Just face down in the snowdrift.
Going down the street.
Yeah, so I mean, would you collect? Would you start bringing the living people into the mead hall, or?
Definitely. I know that I would definitely be trying to help people out of the snow and try to find beds and anything to help bandage them up. And I don't want to use any of my spells, regular spells, but as long as they're not in grave danger, they'll be fine.
Yeah, so like I said, there's 2 that have died. 2 people have died. The other 3, I can see the party like, taking them into the mead hall. I think that Olivessa lives at the mead hall. Pretty sure she does, actually. So you can take her to her quarters there at the mead hall. She's the manager. She's the general manager of the mead hall. And then the other, there's space enough in there to where you could tend to the wounded or at least set them up in a comfortable way. Basically at this point, as you're bringing the people into the mead hall, you see Shandar he's like walking to some of the people who are not part of his little lumberjack cadre, and you can see that he's like having conversations with the village people, and there's a lot of nodding.
So is everyone like in the mead hall now?
Yeah.
What? Okay, Jordy would want to go up to Shandor and try to figure out like what the hell happened.
Okay. Yeah, no
I'd like to listen in.
Yeah, Kinder kind of will come with a little, but
Yeah,
stand back a little
anyone's
bit.
welcome to come
use your
with.
mage ear. Yeah, so Shandar's standing at the bar, and he's like looking, and the bartender is usually Olivessa. So he's like looking up and down the bar, is like, can't get no service in here.
Jordy is going to probably hears that and bottles that annoyance down for a moment and is like,
Damn, sit down.
What the hell happened here?
Well, you showed up at a real convenient time to help us out. We were attacked. The Good Mead was attacked, and I was the only one that was around to help save the town.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
I'll use an inspiration on it.
Oh, okay, all right. We're using some of these inspirados.
I just realized I left something really important at my work, and I just need to call them really quick. Can I just have a second? Okay, I'm sorry.
Of course.
All right, so the first one's a 19, which is pretty good. Let's see if we get anything better. Nope. Second one's a 16. 19.
And
If it helps, I don't believe I was in any of the conversations between Jordy and either Olivessa or Shendar. So I don't know any of those things that they might have uncovered.
So like just like what Cleo said about him.
Yeah.
Much.
Okay. This is really tough. Yeah, you don't get the sense that anything he said was untruthful.
Okay. Just the way he said it was a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but Shandar Froth is kind of a jerk. Shandar's a jerk. Did you say something after that, Jordy, or did we go right into the insight check?
No, Floor was like right in there.
Okay.
The insight check to make sure I
kinda
got that in
right.
there.
Sorry, I needed to get that in there. It seemed like the perfect time.
Yeah. Jordy is not happy with what he said. He kind of narrows his eyes down, gets a little close to him, he's like, I'm sorry, where were you when we were fighting two fucking giants that took your town's source of income? And then, soon as we leave, something happens? Don't get fresh with me.
Well, listen, Olivessa said that you have eyes on the town speakership, but that's gonna be my job, especially now. I chased off those raiders, and now I'm gonna be town speaker of Good Mead, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he's like poking his finger in your chest.
First of all, I did not want to be speaker. but you sure as hell shouldn't be speaking with this kind of attitude to the people that went out of their way to help this town. And the first thing you do is accuse us when we help. Our friend saved Orlavesa and everyone that he could, and this is how you treat us?
I'm the one who has blood on my axe because I'm the one who actually saved Olivessa. Those thugs would have killed her in the street if not for me and my friends. And then his friends kind of like are behind him and they're like, yeah!
Yeah, she happens to get injured right before the town speaker election.
I'd
Very
like to
convenient.
I'd like to put my hand on Jordy's shoulder. I'm sure he's boiling up, so just trying to keep him from going over. I'll
Gusto, the voice of reason here. That's
well, I'll put my hand on Jordy's shoulder and say, "Give me just a second."
give him a little kiss on the cheek.
And cast Zone of Truth.
All right, tell me about Zone of Truth.
So Zone of Truth is exactly what it sounds like. Anyone within this 14-foot area, 15-foot area, has to make a charisma save, DC 13, or not be able to blatantly tell a lie.
Okie dokie, let me pull up the old stat sheet for Mr. Shandar Froth.
Any of his buddies around?
Yeah, his buddies are right there.
Yeah.
Does that mean we have to take it too if we're in the radius?
You do.
I wouldn't have put you guys in the
No, he's
radius.
angling it. Well, Jordy's definitely in the zone of
I
truth.
would be in there, but Jordy doesn't really have a reason to lie.
But it's centered on a point of my choice within range.
Yeah, but like, okay, all right.
Gotcha.
I might allow it. We'll see. Jordy's like,
unless it's a small area. If it's a small area, then yeah, it's got to be everybody.
Jordy's like, I love Kindar's tail. It turns me on. What am I saying? I can't stop myself. Okay. I'm not sure if I even have a character sheet for Shandar Froth. I'm just being honest. Let's see.
Also, I am aware if they fail, if they succeed or fail.
Okay. Okay, I do have a character sheet for Mr. Shandar up here. What is my... Oh, Boom, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Boom was unable to sub for some reason, so we're going to give him a sub here. Let me take care of this real quick. Boom, you know the drill, my friend. Go ahead and roll a D4 on the Discord. Sunflower, did you figure out? Did you find what you were looking for? Were you able to get a hold of somebody?
No, I left my very important notebook at the main store, and I just tried calling the store a bunch, but for some reason no one's answering. So.
Well, if you need to take.
I was in such a rush to get out of there to try to get here on time. Today's just been a really insane day.
Not the handy dandy notebook.
No, that wasn't
It
Tim.
has
That was
a lot
Sunflower's
of info in
kitty
it
cat.
that can't just be left out, so I'm stressed up.
Okie doke. Thank you so much, Boom, for the sub, dude. I appreciate you. This is a charisma save.
Charisma.
It's a DC 13 charisma save.
Yeah.
Okay. For the love of Pete. Natural 17. So you are aware that Shandar has passed the charisma save.
Okay.
Okay. So happy that I passed that. I'm so happy. So yeah, you Gusto just pulled Jordy off of Shandar. And you're kind of like, Jordy's like, hold me back.
I'd know that he passed his save, so
Yeah.
I'd still ask him.
Sure.
Are you sure you didn't have something to do with those bandits?
What are you trying
Staring
to
right
say?
in his eyes.
So now
I'm
you're
only-
accusing me?
I'm only asking a question.
I don't take kindly to your question.
Oh,
You ask
don't
you
take
ask
kindly
any
to
of
you.
these townspeople here, they'll tell you exactly what I did, which is I just saved Good Mead.
Oh, I will. I'll ask every one of them.
Good.
Who's up?
I like to think Jordy was trying to hop over like Gusto's back while trying to say that shout that.
Let's check in with Cleo. Cleo, I'm sure you would have made your way into the meat hall by now.
Didn't Cleo find something in his pocket?
Oh, the little like
Something that she
logo
couldn't
thing.
read?
Yeah, I have that written down on a notebook downstairs.
Besides the
Yeah, it
dragon
was some
locket?
kind of logo of something. It was like a change purse with some kind of logo on it or something that I didn't understand or read. I thought that I showed it though to Floor.
You did.
Okay.
Neither of you were able to identify it.
Well, I'm not about to pull that out, so that stays in my bag.
I could remember. I knew it's something that the people that saw it couldn't read.
I couldn't quite figure it out. Didn't recognize the symbol. But I'll tell you one person who seems to be very, very good at recognizing stuff has never taken a look at that symbol.
That's what I was thinking.
Just throwing it out there. I'm not going to say
but if
who
we're in the
I'm...
room with everybody else, I'm
Yeah,
not just
no.
gonna pull out the thing I
Yeah.
stole from them.
You yell from across the room, "Hey, Kindar, I stole this thing! Come take a look at it!" Bookberry thought that was really funny. All right. So, what do you suppose that Cleo's doing now? You kind of hung back so that you might be able to get some insight into Shandar, or maybe get on his good side somehow.
I mean, I figure in the mead hall, like, as I was downstairs, I think when you guys were talking about this, was he like making a speech or something? I know you cast Zone of Truth on him, something about bandits, but I figure she would just either be, does he see her? If he sees her, I feel like if she notices that he sees her, she's gonna be like, hey, like, buddy, and like be all buddy with him. But if he's like not seeing her, I don't picture her like standing up front to like with all these people that are just a little sketchy because she's not that strong, and she has Clyde with her, so
of course you have to protect Clyde. I think that the scene is still fairly chaotic.
Sure, as long as she's near her people but not really being like that noticed, she's just kind of just taking everything in.
Yeah, I definitely would. I definitely just in this theater of the mind that we're playing right now, I see Cleo just hanging off to the side still. So like you're in the meat hall here, but I don't see you as part of like hanging out with the group, especially not up there with Jordy and Gusto, like kind of confronting Shandar. And Kindar was pretty close there too. To the three of them. Anything to add to this interrogation, questioning?
I think Kindar just kind of seeing how tense everyone's getting with this, and knowing that Shandar was like demanding service. I think Kindar's kind of using his telekinesis or his psychokinesis to maybe like pour some drinks for people to like hopefully help, like for Jordy and for Shandar, especially to like help calm them down a bit.
So you're like using you're using your telekinesis to give everybody a drink.
Clutching his chest, kind of his hands just like towards the bar, and everyone's probably looking at him like he's anyone who notices would probably be like, "What's this guy doing?"
Like, "Oh, he's pouring beer. It's fun."
Yeah. And then you'll just kind of, anyone who's looking over at the bar would probably just see like a glass floating over there with drink pouring into it. And
I like that. And Shandar's like, finally, get some service around here. Takes the mead and like swigs it down, burps really loudly. All of his buddies cheer. So yeah, like I said, still kind of a chaotic scene here. Like there's still lots of people in the meat hall right now. Some of them are tending to the wounded. Some of them you can hear like overhear conversations about what they should do with the people who died, and they just buried the town speaker, and now they have more death here in Good Mead, and just kind of a peas and carrots like murmuring in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Missy, how are you? Our players are just deciding what they'd like to do now, so
I think I would
punch Shandar in the nuts.
I thought about it. Also thought about doing a thunder wave. That was definitely on my mind, but then I had to remember that I didn't know as much about Shandar as everybody else, so I couldn't do it. I'll tell Jordy, hey, I'm gonna be over here with Olivessa. She may be, out of immediate danger, but I'm gonna look after her while she's recovering, and the other too.
Alright, I think that's best. I appreciate it. Let me know if she becomes conscious, so we can try to talk to her.
I will.
Jordy kind of collects himself, kind of like after Floor like pulled him off. He realized that like what him like starting altercation wasn't going to lead to anywhere. Like it wouldn't get the information that they need. So he'd probably like kind of like walk away for a second, just to himself. Probably at the bar, but like further down in his own little. Just takes a minute.
Yeah,
Kinda,
this
like,
Shandar's like
takes it all
pretty.
in.
I would imagine
Yeah.
that Shandar himself, just his existence is pretty offensive to Jordy in a lot of ways. Like,
Yes.
he's a dwarf, so there's that kinship that there should be, but instead, like, it seems like, Jordy is kind of the guy who doesn't take a whole lot of credit for the actual heroic deeds that he does. And Shandar seems like more than ready to just take full credit for this, deed that he did. So.
Yeah, he just cares about getting a drink, like classic dwarf stereotype. Just
You're putting us all back, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys are, if we want to fast forward a bit, I can. Lord, did we lose you? Oh, you're coming. Look, you're coming back. Did you want to magically heal Olivessa? Do you want to bring her back, or do you want to wait for her to recover HP by herself? I just want to give you guys ample time to do what things you need to do, because we are on a kind of a clock here.
I'll go ahead and hit her with a healing word.
She's like, oh, oh.
It was a sharp word. It really hurt.
What was the word?
I don't know. Judgment. That's
She's
what
like,
it was.
Lord. I thought that I was dead. What happened?
I was hoping that maybe you could tell us.
She's like coughing. Bandits. They were gonna try to seize the mead hall. Shandar saved my life.
Actually, I saved your life.
She kind of looks down and she sees like she's covered with blood. She's like, so you did more than just selling goods. Seems like you're about more than just making $1, Floor.
Well, I can't have all of my customers dying on me.
She laughs, but then it's clear that she's, in a lot of pain still.
I think Jordy would like to have a word with you.
And even though she's like really injured and really hurt, you can see that she blushes.
I didn't have to roll an insight on that one.
That was the freebie. Take away one of your inspirations.
No, that takes away all of them. I don't have to do that. I'll let Jordy know discreetly that she's conscious. I'll tell her, just stay calm, just relax, rest. And I'll go and get Jordy.
So you stand up and you're like, "Hey, Jordy!"
No, I'll go and get Jordy.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so you go grab Jordy's, you tug on his sleeve. No, Jordy doesn't wear any sleeves. You tug on his cape. And and to let him know that Olivessa's conscious, that you've magically healed her, and you head up to her, basically her chamber, which is where she was. She's not here on the floor of the bar. You took her up to her room.
Yeah, just laying out on one of the tables. It was just easier that way.
On like a dirty end table.
People drinking.
So you get up there and she immediately is like, oh, "It's our future town speaker right there."
Oh, he kind of sees Jordy sees it again, and he's like happy to see that she's okay, but he's also still like mad because he sees like what happened.
Yeah, she was really fucked up. Just to give you some insight, just beyond the DM, what you're seeing here. Like, basically, if you didn't immediately go do that, Olivessa would have died on the battlefield there. Like, she was that close to death. So,
I was afraid she was dead already.
Your fast acting there saved her life because it was in a bad situation there. So,
she got 5 hit points, if that matters.
Okay, it doesn't, but I appreciate you rolling it. I think for all intents and purposes, Olivessa is probably at full HP now. So, but
she's right up and ready.
But she's still, she's like, let's go. She's like covered with blood. It doesn't heal your clothes, Yeah. So you walk in there, Jordy, and she's like, "There's our future town speaker right there."
He takes a minute, takes it in, sees all the blood, like happy that she's conscious, but sees all the blood and still kind of upset. He's like, "Shanda, it's too good to be true."
He wasn't there. Good Mead might have fallen.
But why did this happen so close to the election? Why did it happen after we left?
I don't know.
Something's not right here, Olivessa.
I don't trust him either, Jordy, but all I can tell you is what I saw.
I believe you. He's just kind of pacing back and forth in the room. Kind of just like, something isn't like, right.
I know that you want me to be the town speaker, but especially now, how could I tell the people of Good Mead that I could protect this town if I wasn't able to even protect myself?
So like somewhere for George to sit down for a second. Just kind of like,
yeah, like
really just like
you kind of like maybe sit on the edge of the bed, right? Like head in hand almost.
Yeah, it's a little, because he doesn't. I don't feel like my purpose is just here in Good Mead. After going to Dugan's Hole, we're able to cooperate with the people there, and they're willing to work with Good Mead. I feel like if we keep doing this, we could get more of the towns together, and we can be a whole in this darkness. And not this scattered, scared people just trying to get by day. We may be able to come together and actually do something. And I care about this town, but I feel as speaker I won't be helpful here. I feel like my purpose is out there to get other people to come here and help.
Jordy, I fear that if you don't become our speaker, that there's only one choice now. No matter how much I don't trust him, and I don't trust him. He took up arms, and he protected me. But he's not going to be a good town speaker. He doesn't have the interests of our town in mind, but without you, and now without me running against him, he's certainly going to take over this town.
I don't know anything that could disprove what he's done.
What? I agree that it doesn't
helped.
That it doesn't smell right. The timing is off.
We can always follow those guys that ran away.
Yes, that's... Were any of them injured in the battle?
Oh, I'm sure.
We could find them. Just need something tangible that we can show the other people. Because this is too coincidental for it to just be this random act of heroics.
I wish that I could join you. Please, if you have any ideas to stop him from taking over Good Mead, I'll help you in whatever way I can.
Is there anyone else in town close to him besides his posse?
His street gang. Anybody else? Not really, no. So him and his... Yeah, so him and his buddies keep the town of Good Mead with plenty of lumber. That's pretty much been their job. They're loud, they drink, they're obnoxious. I mean, this is a pretty small town, right? I think if we were to take a peek here, let me see if I have it. Let's see how many people live in Good Mead. It's actually one of the more populous of the smaller 10 towns. Population of 100. So, approximately 3% of the population has died in the last week. So yeah, 100 people or so. But he has about, there's about 6 other lumberjacks who they all live in like a cabin sort of at the edge of the woods of Good Mead.
Who else talked to him? Cleo talked to him, but I imagine it wasn't anything in depth.
It was more just like fun, light conversation. So I feel like if he saw me again, it would be like lighthearted. He doesn't know that I have anything really to do with you guys. And I've just been kind of chilling on my own.
Whoa, where'd she come from?
No, she's down at the bar. She's down at the bar.
That was kind of like Jordy talking to the room. You're kind of like trying to think of like anything they could use to get like a smithereen of information.
Okay. I guess I first, because I don't know that you're looking for that. I guess I go over to like Jordy and like Gusto. I don't know, because I wouldn't probably head over to Kindar. If I head over by my group of people, it'd probably be boring.
So let me set the scene for you a little bit, which is that Jordy and Gusto are up like in her chambers, which is still at the mead hall here. When we last left you, Cleo, you were down kind of nearish the bar, and Kindar was serving up drinks. He's like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. He's like doing the shaker thing. He's like doing a bottle spin.
That's what I was picturing. Like Kindar this entire time is probably just like doing bar tricks, getting some tips, you know.
Yeah, so she's
out of character for Kindar, you know. Center of attention. Hey guys, check this out.
He's lighting shots down the bar on fire. Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. Oh, I love that so much. Zune.
I got a special drink. It's called the Shocker. When you drink it, he sends out a witch bolt the moment that you drink it.
Ooh, that's extra spicy. What'd you put in there? Some Tabasco? I'm sorry, Cleo. Please tell us what you'd like to do.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. I don't know. I'm probably just hanging out by the bar then. I don't know. Just hanging out. Probably like looking at Kindar. Like, what the hell is he doing right now?
Kindar quits the adventuring party and it's just like, I found it. I found what I was looking for, you guys.
My home.
This is my home.
These people are my family. That's so ridiculous. I just love it so much. Oh, it's so stupid.
While this is happening, I feel like Jordy up there would be like, alright, let's get all of us together in here for a moment, since we're the only people that really don't trust him and know something's up. So I feel like it would try to go like discreetly get Cleo and Kindor in there, even if it's just for like a moment, just to kind of like talk about like what's happening, see if they also have these suspicions.
Okay. You have to drag Kindar away from the bar. Everybody's boo boo when you pull him. Okay. So you get everybody up
we're
to
going up the stairs. I like do one last drink around the corner, like for Xandar. Give him a little wink.
Your tip jar is like overflowing. I should let you add like 15 gold to your character sheet for your.
I was gonna ask how much gold I made.
Yeah. Go ahead and add yourself 10 gold. You got 10 gold in tips. That's because I laughed so fucking hard. Okay, so you get everybody up in Olivessa's chamber, and honestly, for Cleo, this might be the first time where you've seen Olivessa up close, so you see like the extent of what her injuries were, and she's still, got the bloody clothes and stuff. So, just that's something that the others might have seen, but since you were hanging back before, maybe you didn't get the full effect of how injured Olivessa was.
She never really had much of a relationship with her, so she's probably just like, ugh.
Yeah, like,
feeling
gross, you're covered in blood. Yeah, Jordy sets up his own OnlyFans in that next thing we know. Okay, so Jordy, you got everybody together here in one place.
Alright. I can't be the only one that thinks something suspicious going on with Shanda. Olivessa, Floor, and I know something is too coincidental. Is there anything else any lead that we could find? Did any of you two interact with him anymore? See him do something?
I haven't seen anything and I haven't talked to him yet, but I can always go and chit-chat with him down by the bar. Maybe he has pockets full of more stuff that I could take.
More stuff?
I mean, stuff.
Well, I don't like the guy. I don't care if you took something from him.
Okay, I pull out the little change bag and I kind of like toss it to Jordy, and I go, I don't know what this was, but give it back.
That was good.
Jordy just looks like perplexed. I feel like he would immediately like look at it and be like, just hand it to Kindar.
Okay, anybody remember what this symbol looks like?
It's a dragon.
Yeah, something draconic.
Yeah, it is a dragon. It looks to be a dragon that is diving into flames. So it's a dragon that is in a downward dive, and it looks like it's diving into flames, into a fiery pit or something. All right, Kindar, this is a big roll. Kindar, you grab the bag. Jordy's like, this is above my pay grade. Tosses it over to Kindar. Kindar, why don't you give me a history check on this?
All right, we're gonna inspire that
All
one.
right. I'm just trying to get everybody to use all their inspirations. Suddenly, a gigantic iron giant approaches.
Where's my
to use
circuit board?
So, define odds. The reason that they're calling... I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason that they're calling Gusto Vlor is because the party knows Gusto as Vlor. He has, like, a fake name. The only one in the party who actually knows Gusto's real name is Cleo. Sorry, Zune. Go ahead.
Everybody knows.
If I'm gonna use to use a modifier from like one of the gift subs, can I wait till after the roll? And does that apply to both rolls, or just I choose
just one
higher one? And I guess I would make so it's history. $24.
24. What do you know, you guys? Kindar recognizes this symbol. Kindar, this symbol is a symbol of a group known as the Zhentarim. That's Zhentarim. Zhentarim. This group is also known as the Black Network. It's a mercenary country, or mercenary company. Storied history as a group of thieves, spies, assassins, and malevolent wizards. They used to the group, I mean, you got a natural 19, so yeah, you know quite a bit about this particular group. The group used to serve a dark god, but over the decades it became almost like more secular, less focused on dark lord worshipping, and more just greed and grift and murder for hire and that sort of thing. So that's what this symbol is, the Zentarum, aka the Black Network.
Sorry, guys, don't know anything about this. No, Kindar. Yeah, Kindar explains that to the group. Yep, came across this symbol in my travels. Bad group. Explains everything about them.
I snatched my change purse back and put it back in the bag. She's just the entire time like watching the money. I was just like, oh,
don't take anything out
just
of
give
it,
it.
you son of a bitch.
Can I have that back and just see if there's any marks on the coins, or anything marks on anything on the inside? I'll give it back.
Okay.
So yeah, so then I'll grab the bag back and like inspect the coins. Does it look like there's any marking on those or anything out of the ordinary there?
Remind me of how long Kindar has been in 10 towns before the start of this. Is it months or weeks or days?
I believe it had been like a couple weeks, basically. Like he had basically kind of traveled from town to town, but hasn't like enough, whatever time it would have taken him, just kind of like traveled each town and then like stay at night and kind of like get a little information in each town.
Why don't you give me an insight check on the coins, and then depending on the outcome of that roll, we might have an additional roll coming up.
You know what? Let's inspire this one too.
Save some of them.
I've been, it's peer pressure.
You hear
the
cries of a dragon.
That's an 8.
An 8. No, Kindar, you don't know you don't see anything real particular about this coin, but don't ever say that I'm not the nicest GM in the entire world. But you do know, Kindar, that each of the 10 towns kind of does coin some of its own money, and though you can't tell what particular where this gold was minted, you do know that somebody who might be a native of 10 towns would be able to easily decipher where this particular money came from.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Maybe I'll pass it over. Jordy, have you seen anything like this before?
I feel like he would kind of like shuffle them back and forth. Like he's kind of like worked just kind of like for odd jobs, so he's probably seen just like stray coins a lot.
Yeah, so this particular coin has a little chip missing out of one side, and Jordy, you know that is a defining characteristic of gold that is minted in the town of Targus. Let's go take a quick peek at the old Icewind Dale humongous main map. And once everybody gets there, zoom to where they want it to be, you'll see the town of Targus, which is right there.
Oh yeah, it's the one that had the that expedition that we could have went to.
That's right. That's right. Targus is also the biggest of the 10 towns outside of Bryn Shander. Targus is a huge walled city. Population is, I want to say it's in the thousands. Yeah, population 1,000, so it's 10 times bigger than Good Mead. Yeah, you recognize the money as being money from Targus. All these gold pieces that Cleo has, this is Targus money.
Just kind of out loud after looking at it and make a realization, you just be like, Targos. These are from Targos. Wow. Why would they be from Targos? I don't know why, but I'm sure it can't be good considering he's with an organization of assassins, essentially. So that probably means something is not good happening in Targos as well, but let's focus on here.
Yeah, like, is it still spendable if there's a chip in it?
Yeah, it's just like a defining characteristic of the money.
I was making a joke.
Oh,
She cared. She was like,
I thought you were being serious. Your face was so deadpan. I thought you were actually asking.
no, my face is just so tired from the day. I can't even express emotions.
That was good though. I'd say out loud, maybe asking Olivessa, is there anyone that's looking to get access to your mead production?
Well, I mean, listen, we were in a prime spot to outlast an endless winter like this. We're the only of the 10 towns that manufactures our own wealth. There's no other industry in 10 towns besides knucklehead trout and scrimshaw. We put ourselves in a position to outlast this winter and still keep our people fed and warm. If you're asking if you look out on 10 towns, if there's not those who would turn their eyes to Good Mead and wish to have what we have, I think that describes quite a few souls in Icewind Dale.
I think that maybe we should see about these bandits so we can get proof if Shandar is against the town. But I think we might want to have somebody look after Olivessa.
Shandar.
Is there anybody that...
All right, we're gonna put Shandar in charge while we're gone. All right, you guys good?
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right, Shandar, you're in charge.
I'd ask Olivessa if she could recommend anybody that she really trusts that could, help protect her while we find out what's really going on.
Yes, there's a trapper in town. He is always friendly. He seems to know his way around the wilderness, so I feel like he perhaps would be the best, the person I trust the most in Good Mead. His name is Fef.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, it's spelled Fef. F-E-F.
Is that the one we ran into when we went to go find the Verbeeg?
Very good. Give yourself an inspiration.
I was pretty sure that we had met somebody.
I remember because he
That's
was
good.
like, yeah, these guys fucking died. And we're like, okay, we'll do that. He's like, all right, cool.
He's the one that shat himself, right? Running away?
he had captured a fox.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he had captured a fox. And just to give you guys some indication, if you guys could have saved that fox, something good. Well, hang on. This is worth looking up. Something good would have happened if you would have saved the fox. He had captured a live fox.
Talking fox is like, yes, I know everything about Shandar.
Damn it.
Yeah, the fox is like, listen, let me tell you a story about this Shandar Froth motherfucker. The characters want to buy. Oh, you could have bought it from him for a gold piece. But if you would have saved it, it would have stuck around with you, and it would have been part of the party now.
Oh,
We already have
no.
Clyde. That's too much innocent things to handle.
Clyde could have rode the fox.
Okay,
That was
I've
been-
been trying to stuff the fox in my hair too.
okay, so
Or-
Jackson,
They could have looked after each
Or
other.
Cleo could have been wearing the fox.
I'm gonna.
I would just never be a part of the party. I would just be vicious mockery in the corner with a fox wrapped around my neck and a little schwinga like hiding in my hair. Like
Ooh,
Words
ooh,
hurt.
so fancy.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this just because Jackson mentioned that. If the characters rescued the fox from theft, and they have a chwinga, the chwinga bows before the fox and offers it a frozen berry, which the fox gobbles up. After that, chwinga and the fox become fast friends, and the chwinga mounts the fox, bestows a charm and your animal conjurer on it, and rides on the fox's back.
God,
wait,
dang
really?
it.
Yeah, no, that's all literally written in the adventure. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you gave up.
That is straight out of the original Sin too. That little squirrel riding the
Yep.
fox.
Could have been Clyde and the Fox.
Yeah.
It sounds like the name of like a movie.
a children's book, Clyde and the Fox.
hmm
So yeah, just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you gave up there for not saving the fox. I really thought that Cleo was going to be like, I want to save that fox. But you guys are
My memory of this is so small, honestly. I'm just trying to remember.
well,
that
that's why I gave the
moment.
inspiration to Jackson, because this was an extremely small part of the story that he remembered, and I appreciate that kind of stuff when you remember little details like that. So yeah, she says that you can trust Fef, and that Fef would be able to provide some protection if somebody's like trying to actually assassinate Olivessa.
Yeah, I would say that either myself or maybe one of the others might want to go and get Faf and have him look over Olivessa while we decide what we want to do.
Georgie can go. Since everyone talked to him, but he would go give him like a brief breakdown of the situation. Since he trusts Olivessa, I assume he probably doesn't like Shandor as well.
Yeah, so you go track down Fef. He's just chilling at his house. You walk up to the front porch, and he's wearing this beautiful fox cap. It's like it looks warm and new. And I imagine you just give him the quick and dirty of. I mean, how much do you tell him, Jordy?
Alright, so what happened here is too coincidental. We're afraid of for fear for Olivessa's life. We're going to go try to track down the bandits to get more information. Could you watch over her while we're gone? She said she trusts you the most in the town.
I don't remember what Fef sounds like, but he's like, yeah, all right. He's like, I don't trust that. Yeah, he's basically like, I don't trust Shandar any more than you guys do. I saw what happened, and I didn't believe my own eyes, but that's all I have to go on right now. But if you guys say, and Olivessa says that you don't trust what happened, then I don't trust what happened too, and I'll stay with Olivessa until you return.
Thank you. It means a lot. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Where do you intend to go?
Well, we saw the direction we ran. I guess we'll have to try to see if one of them are injured. Maybe some blood in the snow. Or if none of them are injured, that would be a bit strange too.
Godspeed. I'll stay with her until you return.
Thank you. Jordy gives almost a little bow, just kind of thank you. and then heads back. Well, I guess they kind of go back
Yeah,
together.
they kind of
'cause
go
they're-
back together. Beth's like brushing his foxtail coat.
Nice hat.
Thanks. I'm a tanner and a scout. Beth Morin. Remember when I saw those dead guys? That was wild. That was nuts.
Yeah.
All right, get back there, and then are you guys gonna stay the night in Good Mead? Or are you gonna head out right now? It's been, I don't know, what's Dugan's Hole to Good Mead? It's like, let's find out exactly. That's gonna.
I don't know if it would be a good idea to travel if all of your health is what it actually is showing on
It
the
is.
screen.
I mean, we could take a short rest.
That's true.
The longer we wait, the further away they get, and it might be harder to track them with knowing.
Yeah,
Or
so
we could just try and like interrogate Shandar more by himself.
that's always an option too. So just to give you guys an indication, you woke up in Good Mead, you woke up in Dugan's Hole, 4 hours or so to Good Mead. You had a combat in there, which didn't take incredibly long, but you've been dealing with this for several hours now, probably another 4 hours or so in Good Mead. So, a big chunk of the day is whittled away here. It's probably like late afternoon, early evening.
Most people wouldn't travel at night, especially in this kind of cold. I think.
Is it ever daytime here?
That's a good point. No point in getting ourselves killed or trying to find it. Because it's most likely they might have not taken a regular path.
Bryn Shander about 6 hours from here. And Targus is 2 hours from Bryn Shander. So if you're going to try to make it all the way to Targus, it's going to be another 8 hours. It'd take you to about midnight, assuming that nothing waylays you.
But if they make it to Bryn Shander before we do, we've lost them. If that's where they're heading.
At that point, it wouldn't matter when we get there. We would just have to get there and investigate and see if we can figure out where they reside.
But if we can catch them before they get there,
Yeah, this is a real decision.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like looking at all your health makes me nervous to just go like running after people that we might have to fight.
That is true.
I mean, we just need an
But
hour,
Jordy's
right?
not happy.
But if we know where they're going, we can always go back. / do we really want to leave like this town with Shandar still like doing it?
That's kind of the thing. We were trying to catch them before they got too far. That way we can get this taken care of so that Shandar wasn't in charge.
Because right now everyone's for Shandar. So we can't go rough them up or anything or look like
I mean,
bad
we
guys.
can.
But if you kill
But we
Shandar,
thought-
what do they have to follow?
Probably another person in their posse that helped save them.
They definitely won't follow us if we kill their leader.
Yes, my name's
Yeah.
Shindar. My name's Shindar Foamy. I was the vice president.
I'll just like disguise myself to look like him and I'll just pretend to be Shandar.
These satyr dresses to look like a dwarf. That'd be a pretty good. That'd be a pretty convincing disguise.
I mean,
I mean, it's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
no, it's not.
I mean, I
Bizarre.
do have those documentation papers with the forgery kit. If I've seen Shandar's stuff enough, I can forge papers that make it proven that I am actually him, if I so disguise myself as such. it takes like a day or so, depending on how long would it take to forge papers for Shandar Fishshoot.
Sure. So, first of all, you could on paper make yourself seem like him for sure. That would probably take you 2 days, maybe. Maybe 1 day if that's all you did. So I wouldn't allow you to travel or really do anything else. Because you couldn't be like walking down the East Way and forging documents. You'd have to really take a day out. She'd really have to take a day out, study what she needed to do, and spend time doing it. That makes sense. The disguise, if nobody had ever met Shandar, the disguise is like, yeah, you could disguise yourself to look like a dwarf. It's part of your archetype. If anybody had met Shandar before, the disguise has a greater chance of failing. So, depending on how familiar, the more familiar somebody is with Shandar, like somebody who's met him once, your disguise probably has a good chance of working. Somebody who's his best friend, that's going to be a little bit harder because they know him and they know what he looks like. You know what? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But the papers, that's easy for you to do. That is part of your character's archetype. You can absolutely spend time forging documents and then put on a good disguise, and nobody who's ever met Shandar is like, yeah, that's Shandar Froth right there. But if you're going to try to convince his best buddy that I'm Shandar, that's going to be more difficult than just identity theft.
Okay.
Yeah, the forging papers could work because you have that pouch with that symbol on it, so you can make it seem like it's papers from them. So that could be an option.
It's a good point. If I have his change purse, it's like, where else would people get this little like weird logo change purse from, you know?
Listen,
so
I'm liking this idea more and more. So what would be your goal with like what would you want? You can make yourself up like him. What is the goal with it?
Would it be to try to catch up with those people and make it seem like we're on their side, but we're not? Is that was where my mind was, like, to try to get to the other people that ran away.
Okay.
I was thinking about convincing the people in town that like he took like a bribe or something in order to allow this to happen.
Interesting.
Because you have the pouch, and then you could make a note with the pouch, be like, hey, the stuff in this pouch is for this, with the symbol that matches the pouch on the paper.
So, like, almost like, not like blackmailing, but like making up something that he did that he didn't actually do to make him look worse.
And
make him like
it's possible it's true, too. Just like something else to make it like more solidified besides just like a coin pouch.
Could go out there
like a note.
Could go out there and act like drunk in front of them and just be like, "Hey guys, remember when I convinced those guys to come and kill?"
What if like we like forged like how you're saying, almost like evidence in a way, but I don't have to necessarily disguise myself as him to do that. Can I forge papers and maybe we leave that like change purse and maybe those papers somewhere that like someone important maybe catches and then he gets fucked? Or I don't know.
Yeah, it could be like a backup plan.
I have
just
no
like
idea.
something guaranteed that someone could find. So at least there's something to like solidify suspicions.
Yeah, I mean, these are all everything you've described is doable, and nothing that you've described is a bad idea, if you're looking for my DM input. What I will say is that you guys are straddling the line of manufacturing evidence against Shandar versus trying to accumulate actual evidence against Shandar.
That's what I was thinking. The forgery can be.
I mean, does that really matter?
You tell me, because it doesn't. It doesn't matter to me.
We can have it as a backup, like as you said.
So, while all of that is great, we can go the interrogation route. Cleo, you're pretty good at getting people drunk, right?
I can get him drunk and like dance on him to tell me truth. We just slit his throat.
Nice.
We can
like Sweeney Todd style.
Yeah, maybe Cleo can get on his good side and try to pull out that information from him rather than, trying to
Like his jugular from
Yeah, like Sweeney Todd's.
You could act like you want a cut
Jeez.
of like what's going on.
Cleo, this is a different side of you.
I picture her just like, well, she never liked this guy. She already knew he was a douchebag, and she's like looking at all the stuff that's happened in town, and now you guys are saying about like the stuff with his change purse, which she just thought was some stupid change purse that she had sitting in her backpack this whole time. And I mean, she doesn't want like a bunch of innocent people dead. That's never her like motive in life. Like a bunch of innocent people don't need to die just because some assholes want to come and like take over the town. Like screw that guy. Screw him. Someone would have to watch Clyde though. But
You don't want Clyde to see that?
no, he has to be
Okay. Well, what I was going to suggest is that I've got a couple different spells that might help get the truth out of him. And that might be something that would benefit us in finding the evidence to show to everyone. Because it's more about making the other people in the town believe us that Shandar is no good, rather than just killing Shandar and, putting him under the ice where nobody's going to find him.
Yeah.
What if I used enthralling
done that.
performance in College of Glamour to like make him charmed by me, but it lasts an entire hour. So anything that I do, say, or anything, he's like basically entranced by. So he should want to tell me the truth if he like loves me.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I can
I
always
think
copy
that's a
paste
big
what
route.
this is.
That's really good.
Let me copy paste in our little chat what this is because it's long. Enthralling performance.
Plus, that's something we could do like right now. Nip it in the bud.
That's
I would have
actually
to somehow get him in a
That doesn't
room or
hurt
something.
anybody.
Though.
Well,
Yeah, I think
he's downstairs right now and getting drunk.
Yeah, you mentioned last session afterwards about using that in some way. I think this is perfect. And what's at the bar drinking?
This is a cool ass spell. So I'll
Yeah,
read
balls
this
everywhere.
for anybody who isn't familiar. This is from Cleo's Bard College of Glamour. Cleo went to college, as we all know. If you perform for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by singing, reciting a poem, or dancing. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened to all of it, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be charmed by you. While charmed in this way, the target idolizes you. It speaks glowing of you to anyone who speaks to it, and it hinders anyone who opposes you, avoiding violence unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf. So, I think this is a cool idea. What do you think that you would get out of it? Because here's why I ask, is because you could absolutely charm him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to tell you everything that he knows.
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. So we do the okay, he's probably like at the bar or something, right? I meet him at the bar. I'm like, hey, long time. Chit-chatting. I get him drunk. I'm like, well, do you have a room? And we go up to his room. But you guys are also like kind of like outside of the room. Like you follow where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say like, get him in the room. And I use my performance on him. And he's all like lovey-dovey and all about everything. I don't know. I feel like maybe he'd be more open to saying stuff, and then if he says the right stuff that we want to hear, we can just murder him, and then I can take his clothes, and maybe if I do want to disguise myself as him, we'd have his clothing.
This got so dark so fast.
Sorry, maybe it's because I'm like preparing for my session tomorrow with another group where my character is just like this really messed up druid fairy. I feel like that's what it makes sense though. Like, why wouldn't she do some weird sexy performance like fuck over this guy?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
I was thinking like you could, since you'll be like drunk and enthralled, you could be like, hey, I think you dropped this in a purse, and be like, hey, I would be interested in doing stuff for this kind of money. Like, how'd you get this money? I'm in. Something like that.
I don't know, because then I feel like he might have to do some kind of check to see if I'm actually the one that took it to begin with. I don't want to chance him finding out that I
That's fair.
pickpocketed from him before.
Yeah.
I never do the same con twice. I'm not about to do any more with the change pocket with him.
Is that one of your
That's fair.
is that one of your
It is.
your personality traits? That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean this is going to be the last thing we do in this session, so you tell me what you would like to, how would you like to approach this situation?
I feel like we start. It's almost 7. We start by ending the stream by me going to the bar and seeing if
Okay.
he recognizes me. I
Yeah.
feel like I would need you guys to be like watching from either from afar or like something, keeping an eye on me in case something weird happens.
I feel
could
like
cast, like, a
watching
little-
people in a
if you-
bar
If
is
you
like
want to,
Jordy's specialty.
What?
if you want to lure him away at all too, without anyone else noticing, I could try to hallucinate. Like I can cast hallucinate on him and have him like hear something like a yoo-hoo or something like from the door or something, and you can meet him outside.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to get him drunk and convince this guy to want to go to his room, right? It's not that hard in real life. It shouldn't be that hard in
Boy, did it get
she's
hot
got
in
a
here
point.
just now, or?
She's got a point. I mean, especially after he's just saved the town.
This wouldn't be Cleo's first performance that she does for a man to get what she wants, so it's fine.
Yeah,
We
so
don't
you,
judge.
you sidle up to Shandar. He immediately recognizes you, Cleo, and he's like, "Hey, the goat lady's back. We had quite the party the other day."
I shake off Goat Lady and give him a big welcome and be like, "Hey, it's you! This is so crazy. Like, can I get you a drink?" And I sit down with him,
He's
if
like,
I can get him.
"Yeah, the hero of Good Mead, right? The mead's gonna be flowing."
Flowing. Well, I can't wait. We'll have to start drinking a whole ton now then if it's gonna be flowing.
I pour them a drink.
I ask if he wants to
Drink's just the
do.
land next to him.
Yeah, I ask if he wants to do like any like I just want to I don't know how many drinks it's gonna take to get him drunk, but I don't picture myself pulling him back. I don't want to be getting drunk too.
Yeah.
I picture myself like sipping on them.
So, why don't you roll a couple sleight of hand checks here, Cleo, as you like pretend to be throwing back drinks with Shandar, but you're actually, putting them to a plant or something.
Oh, when I leveled up, I added some plus stuff to my sleight of hand, so I have a +7 in sleight of hand, so I'm fucking ready.
Oh, yeah, that expertise.
Let's go.
Of course, sleight of hand.
You're like throwing them into Jordy's mouth somehow.
20.
Kindor
20, yeah.
She like throws it back. Kindor catches it, and it goes all the way over to Jordy.
Yeah, so no problem, Cleo. You're plying Shandar with drinks, and you get him pretty drunk, and he thinks that you're pretty drunk too.
Great. I ask him if he has a place we could go to talk in private or to hang out in private. Like how girls kind of like do that thing, like, can we take this upstairs, or do you got a place to go?
You can come back to my cabin, but there's 6 other dudes who stay there. I mean, I have my own bed.
6 other dudes. There's got to be a room in here somewhere we can sneak away to.
Well, don't you have a room here in the mead hall?
Do I have a room there in the mead hall?
You do, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We can go up to my room. It's a little messy though.
He's like, all right, you lead the way. And he's like
I would have
high-fiving
handed
his
off Clyde, by the
boys.
way. I said that a long time ago that someone needed to watch
who
Clyde,
has
but then I
Clyde?
started getting into it.
I'll take
I-
Clyde because I wouldn't have been down there with her.
You still up here? Are you chilling with Olivessa still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. You have Clyde. So I lead him to the room, and I sit him down, and I don't know. I probably just like want to talk to him more. I'd probably take some mead to go to see if he'd like want to drink more, like in the room.
He passes out. I'm just kidding.
No.
He could just
Smack him
rifle
away.
through his shit.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, take this party back to your room. Let's go.
All right. So I take him to my room and I kind of eyeball at Kendar and Jordy, like hoping that they see that
You
it's
guys just like,
moving.
yeah. I would imagine you guys are maybe like in the hallway, Kindar and
Mhm.
Jordy. I don't, like kind of.
Kind of like sees him go up, gives it like 30 seconds or so, and then kind of like goes up to the hallway.
Kindar's dancing on the bar.
I think Kindar is gonna stay down there so that people aren't like distracted and like, wait, where's Shandar?
Okay, all right. So it's just Jordy
I-
then, kind of with an ear. You're listening out. Jordy kind of out, maybe in the hallway.
I make sure the door is not locked.
Okay.
I want to just make that very.
Okay.
We're in a hotel room, so. And then I sit down and I just I tell him that I want him to sit back and I want to give him a show for what a great job he's done for this town.
He kind of like sits back, like almost like lewdly on the bed, like where his legs are like hanging off his little dwarven legs are like hanging off the bed, but he's like kind of propped up on his elbows, and he's just
Ew.
like, "Dance for me."
I like want to throw up at that. Okay. So she just like holds back her disgustedness. She then continues to start her performance. Does she have to cast it? Does she just?
No,
she
this is a
just does
save
it?
on my side. So yeah, Cleo dances beautifully for. a
I
minute.
do a song and dance to WAP by Cardi B.
Cleo's like working. Okay, tell me what your spell save DC is.
And moving on. What's the spell save?
My spell save is 14.
Okay,
My
Shandar.
save DC? Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Shandar has a 0 modifier, so this is just going to be a straight D20 for me. Shandar is drunk, so he's going to make the save with disadvantage, but I'm going to use my pluses here. So we're going to roll 2 D20s.
Damn it, waffle cone.
I have a +6 to this roll. So we're going to add +6 to the lowest of these two. And if you'll take a kind look at the screen, I rolled a natural 1 for a 7, which will be a fail. Shandar is enthralled by you.
I mean, I don't blame him after my dance moves. That's a very enticing song. Come on. I picture Jordy outside. I don't know what is Jordy doing? Like, I see you can hear some of this.
He probably heard like that. It's like, dance for me, and he's just like silently gagged out there.
Jordy's cries
Singing the
debating
backing
out in the
vocals.
hallway.
There's some hoes in this house.
All right.
Oh.
I have a thought. Do I have rope by chance?
Oh,
You tell me.
Hold
you
on.
should.
Sorry, I guess I was talking out loud.
It's like most
I like where this is
packs.
going.
Well, I just had a thought. I had a real thought. It could just. I'm just saying, like, if you convinced him to want to get tied up, and then you tied him up, and then we wanted to question him too, he wouldn't have a easier. It would be hard for him to get away.
Do you think he'd be into that though?
I would have to ask him.
Consent, right?
Coil of rope.
There you
Haha.
go.
Okay.
Jordy
God
walks in.
damn it. I ask him. I pull out my rope and I say, "Are you into this?"
And he's like, "Baby, I'm into whatever you're into."
Great. I tie his feet and hands. Are there are there poles? On
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
great. I tie him literally as tightly as I can to the bed. As tightly as I can with getting away with it. Because I know he's drunk, so he might not be able to feel how tight it is, but I'm going to tie it as tight as I can.
His hands and legs turn purple. Oh God.
Okay. I then ask him, so what really happened with this town?
And he's like, you seem... Yeah, I wasn't going to tell anybody. But you seem pretty into it. You're kind of like a bad boy, don't you?
I sure do, and I tighten it even. I just tighten it harder than not.
Hey, is it normal I can't feel my hands?
Oh, it's so normal. So you were saying about this town, my love?
Yeah. Hey, listen, have you ever heard of a mercenary group called the Zentarum?
The Zentarum, no, but I like the sound of it.
Well, if you lean in real close, I'll tell you all about them. In 2 weeks from now, as we resume Rime of the Frostmaiden.
That was perfect for Jordan.
Oh!
And then make it weirder.
Now, how do you feel about a third person?
As Jordy walks in.
It's just nude. Just completely nude. I heard my services were required.
Oh, man.
Thank you guys very much.
That was top notch.
Very fun. Well done, Sunflower. I know that you were tired. I appreciate you making time to join us. And listen, you cracked the case. I mean, you really, we're going to find out a lot more next time we play. So
I think that was inspiration level.
I think it was too, but I don't make those decisions, Flores.
Book fairy, was it?
Yes, I'm taking inspiration for that. That's 2 in one session. Kid, don't say that I'm not
one for pity and one for reals.
I
have it written down in here. I have 2 pity inspirations, 1 regular. And now I have 2 regular.
Right, well, there you go. Look, you did great. I rolled a natural 1. No thanks to Waffle Cone out in chat. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you back for some more Frostmaiden in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.